Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a demo of the Natasha Denona holiday palettes. These are fairly old as they did launch during the holiday season 2017. I was late to the game because I was in complete denial when these launched. I don't need them, blah blah blah. I should have purchased them during the VIB Rouge sale. I could have received 20% off. It was a 20 or 25, I forgot. I bought the full price. I kept seeing them on the shelves, not selling out, and would think, maybe they'll go on sale. I don't know. They never did. I surrendered, got them, whatever. I've worn these two already, love the shade combinations. I know they are a little punchy when it comes to color. I'm going to show you a palette on this side, the other on this eye. Let me know down below if you have these guys. And without further ado, let's get into it. Quickly to go over swatches, I will then swatch Joya, which is holiday. Oh, these are very, very delicate. Fortunately, this poor guy was in my makeup bag and I was not careful in packing it in a way that would not bounce it around, and the smallest amount of knocking around can do this to your pan. It's okay. I'm gonna be very careful with that palette. Oh god. And here we have Aeris with this gorgeous blue. I'll swatch both. Here are swatches from Joya. And here are swatches from Aeris. This blue, like the way the reflex in it, amazing. Amazing. I'll start with this palette first since the other one just basically collapsed in front of us. This is the way I like to use this palette. Again, not very corporate environment friendly if you work in that industry. Industry what? This is like going out, party, if you're in fitness maybe. This is how I would wear it to still be kind of everyday friendly. I found still incorporating the blue in a way that adds punch but is not going to overwhelm the eye look. With my Wayne Goss 16, I will first apply the color Burnt Terracotta. We got some kickback in the pan. I'm sorry about the reflect, but it's all good, man, because you know what? These mattes are creamy. Before I do that, I want to set my eyelid a little bit better. I did set my face with spray before I started recording, and I just want to make sure this area of my lid isn't sticky. Okay, here we go. Better. And I just got shadow on that lid before I even started. It's fine. I take Burnt Terracotta into my crease. This is the only matte shade in the palette. However, Natasha's shimmers self-blend, or they're self-blending, and you technically can use them in the crease. I'm first shaping it out. Then when most of the shadow is deposited, when not a lot of shadow still is on the brush, that's when I start to pull it out. I just create a little more depth and saturation here on the outer corner with the same shade and brush. I take my Wayne Goss number 3, which is completely clean, and I graze the edges to clean up this blending a tiny bit more. Now, if you're going to stay strictly palette and still need a powder to blend out this shade, I will just use your favorite loose powder or your favorite pressed powder that is your skin shade. I am going to bake because the next shade I'm going in with, it is very pigmented, and I feel the way I'm going to use it will give me fallout. So this is just precautionary. I'm taking my Wayne number 6 in with this shade. Whoa. In red bronze. I'm using this as my defining shade, so to speak. I forgot if I used this brush. That's not working out too well. Okay. Instead, I'm going to take my finger. I'm going to take my finger and press it into my outer corner. That adds really nice depth to the terracotta shade. And I think what I did was I took this all the way across the lid, like so. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this color. And with my finger, I go in with Nude. Is this Nude? Peach Bronze? Yes. The names are flipped. When you flip it, you have to flip it in the order they appear this way. That's why I get confused. I believe this is Peach Bronze. I'm not too sure. The color on the end of the palette. With my pinky, now running it in with the red bronze shade. See all the fallout I got? I knew it. I just knew it. And I also blended into the red bronze shade, so you have this really beautiful grading effect. It starts really red on the outer corner and it gradiates into like an orange and then into the peachy bronze. You can try to apply these shades with a brush. I found that application is more successful with your finger when it comes to Denona pigments. I'm just taking the tip of this brush, carefully whisking away any of the particles that might have traveled too far into my crease, keeping this mostly a matte shade. Now I'll take number 6 in with Burnt Terracotta. I'm going to graze under my lash line and start to shape the eye more. Taking my clean brush, further shaping this outer V. I'm taking some loose powder with a Smith 220 and I'm cleaning this a bit better, just so it's not so high, bringing it down a tiny bit. Better. Okay, with this shade here, I believe this is Nude. I'm taking that with my pinky and I'm placing it onto the inner corner. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love that shade. Now, here's what we can do. I'm going to use my pencil brush, taking the red bronze shade, which is the red metallic shade we first applied to our outer corner. I want to take this to my lower lash line, but as brackets. Inner and outer. I'm having more success using the pencil brush because it's a smaller brush, it's more densely packed than the fluffier one I initially wanted to use. And because of that, I'm able to punch in the color and it will better stick in that way versus me trying to brush it in like I wanted to do on my outer corner, which didn't work out so well. Now here's where the blue comes in. With Icy Blue, I take my pinky and I punch it right into the center of red bronze. Like that. You can also use the same pencil brush. I'm going to wipe this off. And with that same color, I'm just building up this drop, if you will, of blue. Now, I stopped here the last time. You can add a wing liner, which I think will be very beautiful. I don't have it near me right now. I'm just going to curl my lashes and apply some mascara. You know, at first I'm going to do this eye and then I'll do the lash stuff. How about that? I'm also gonna whisk away my mess that I made here. Excellent. For this eye, I have to be very careful because I broke this palette. First shade I'll use is Red Grape. Is it? No. Fuchsia. Fuchsia. Make sure I'm going to wipe off the brush because it's all filled with burnt terracotta. As far as the shadows go, I know I'm going very quickly. I love the shade as a matte. It's beautifully creamy, easy to blend. The thickest foil is the red bronze, and then I would say Icy Blue. This is definitely more of a topper shade as well as this one here. It's lighter in texture, very light, almost like I said, a topper, like a sheen. It provides that glitz, that sparkle. Icy Blue has a little more body to it. And then the thickest is the red bronze shade, which has, I feel, the most saturation. And it's a thicker texture than the other shades in the palettes. I'm going to basically do the same thing I did on the other eye. I apply the matte shade first, and that serves as my foundation for the eye look. I like to place it first in this shape, and then that's when I go in with a cleaner, fluffier brush, or just as fluffy as this one. And that's when I clean up the edges. I make sure that I wipe it, so I have a towel nearby. And that's when we pull out the shadow, if you choose to do so. I like to pull out my shadow. I think it complements my eye shape well. If you're not a fan of the V, then you can keep it rounder. I think Fuchsia is a beautiful matte shade. I mean, look at that pink. I feel this will look beautiful with Lavender Rose from Pat McGrath. This paired with the smoky purple shade. Oh snap! Maybe that's gonna be another tutorial altogether. Ideas are flowing. Again, I'm gonna clean that up, make her look smooth. Next up, I think, oh, this poor shade, Red Grape. Towards my outer corner, now Red Grape reminds me of Red Bronze, but Red Grape is actually smoother in texture, which leads me to believe I can blend this out better than I attempted with the other shade from Aeris. I want to take my number 6 and see how that goes. Oh, that's better. See, that's a lot smoother than Red Bronze from Aeris. Like, I could use this as a deepening shade with a fluffier brush, and it doesn't look chunky or overly glittery. It has a really beautiful shine to it, and I think this is the shadow, the texture, the formula that Denona shadows have when they are self-blending, even when they're not matte. I'm into wet. I'm into wet. I'm going to take it to the inner portion as well, and with the same brush I'm slowly pulling it out, meeting up with the fuchsia shade that we initially applied. Oh, I love this. I forgot how excited I was when I discovered that I could use Red Grape as a defining shade. I was like, oh, I always get crazy when it's inner corners. I think I'll take this time and apply fuchsia to my lower lash line. I'm going to shape this to make sure we get that V going. God. Connecting. Beautiful. Taking Red Grape as well with the same brush to the outer portion of my lash line. I love this color. Red Grape. Oh, I mean, look how smoothly that blended into fuchsia. I think it's a gorgeous color. Despite the blue being absolutely gorgeous, I feel this, the Joya is easier to work with in terms of blending. Because if you wanted to go all out with Aeris, then of course you could go in with burnt terracotta, put icy blue all over the lid, make it like into a cut crease situation maybe, and then use the other colors as accents. But I found if you wanted this to be daily friendly, I think the punch of blue under the lash line is the right way to go. Not wrong. I should not say right. It's another path if you wanted to try something not as bold. I love this combination. Oh man. Okay, next up, I think center the lid with peach gold. Definitely applying peach gold with my finger because it has that like very thick texture. I feel doesn't pick up the brush doesn't pick up well. And yes, 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 this is what I'm talking about. Look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love the shade. This is like a true peachy gold. It's gorgeous. And the way it blends into red grape, to add a little accent, I'm going to take our poor broken shade here. That is Star Bronze. I'm going to apply Star Bronze to my pinky first, and the base of the lash line, and combining it with the peachy gold. Look how that added a little bit of extra light. Adding a little bit of extra dimension, some pop. And the goldie shade, again, I feel this shade of gold is like the accent color, like Icy Blue is in Aeris. This I apply with my pinky as well, but to my lower lash line in the same way. I think this is a fun step to take. And I even take it down a little bit so you know it's there, and it's like, bam. We use all the shades. I will take this, the one that's broken, to my inner corner. Oh, that's pretty. I'm gonna brush off this bit. Make sure we don't get any of that shadow on our face. I'm gonna apply some lashes and I'll be right back. Alright, put some lashes on. I tried my velour lashes again. Despite how they're trying to make them not tricky to apply, I feel I just suck and will always find lashes tricky, even if they come pre-cut. This is how I use my Natasha Denona holiday palettes, friends. What do you think? I find this is definitely the more, the friendlier daily use of eye looks when it comes to choosing which one is easier to maneuver. I think this is a gorgeous blue and it really pops. It has a beautiful sparkle to it. But I love how you can use the shimmer shade from Joya as a defining one. You know, it all depends on your mood. You definitely don't need both. I purchased both because the whole limited edition thing always gets me. Let me put some lipstick on. Hold on. I'm sorry. Oh, that's better. For the most part, I found that they were fairly easy to use. Again, I could get away with these eye looks because of the industry that I am in. But for the most part, I think maybe if you just wanted to choose one shade and then pair it with other neutral ones from your other palettes, you can definitely approach it in that way. If you were sticking strictly to the palette and wanted to use all 5 shades, then this is how I would apply those shades. Again, if you want to see other looks, let me know down below. I'm sorry that I just stuck to one, but I'll just do another video. Maybe I'll do a video with a more punchier look. Bolder. This is how I wore it when I just wore it out, right? I love this eye. I think it's just beautiful with the gold and the fuchsia. But I like this one too. Think it's fun with the pop of blue. It's like a surprise. And of course, it stays grounded with the terracotta shade and the other red bronzy shades on the lid, so it doesn't make it so insane but still approachable. Thank you, friends, so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another demo review chit chat or get ready with me. Take care, and I'll see you soon.